Tea or Coffee, a film podcast with Thomas and Joe, with theme music by bensound.org. See description for more information.
Hello and welcome to the Tea or Coffee podcast. We're back. This is a show where we talk about films, movies, occasionally TV and other related media. My name is Thomas and joining me is my co-host Joe.
Hello everyone.
We decided today to talk about the Lego Batman movie. We both saw it recently. It's been out for a few weeks, but if you're in Australia it's coming out soon, so you're all getting excited. And I'm just going to read the plot synopsis and then we'll go into a spoiler-free review of it. We will try and not give anything too major away. Obviously, we can talk about anything that's in the trailers or anything in the poster, or just overall thoughts. We won't try and reveal anything too major. So just a plot synopsis. There are big changes brewing in Gotham, but if Lego Batman wants to save the city from the Joker's hostile takeover, he may have to drop the lone vigilante thing and try and work with others, and maybe, just maybe, learn to lighten up. Maybe his psychic Robin and lawbreaker Alfred can show him a thing or two. So, Joe, you saw this film. What are your overall thoughts about it?
I really loved it. Actually, I went in not knowing what I really expected from it, but I ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was well written. A few cheesy moments, but not as cheesy as the original. Lego movie? Yeah. I felt. Of course, it's got that kind of like the typical Hollywood, this is all about working together thing. But apart from that, I quite enjoyed it, and I thought it was cleverly crafted, had some good mocking of the studios in it, and maintained a good balance of humour.
Yeah. In many ways, this is the modern day version of the parody film, in that it's happy to completely lay into the character of Batman, while at the same time being a good film. It's not just jokes about Batman for 2 hours, however long it is. It's also it's got its own narrative, it's got its own structure, but it's at the same time it's also able to be very sort of light-hearted with the source material, to consistently refer to it, and to very much sort of embrace the mythos of Batman, which has been around for nearly 80 years now, whatever. And at the same time bring something very sort of unique and fresh to it. I mean, we've seen lots of Batman films, but there's nothing quite like this, other than sort of him in the Lego movie. It's a very modern film, as we've talked before, in the sense that we're now at a stage where the nerd culture is very much taking over Hollywood. It's very apparent with the rise of superhero films, the continuing of franchises. Star Wars is back. We got Star Trek. We've got Blade Runner coming back. We've got all these other sort of films which sort of are very sort of, I suppose, targeted more at sort of people who grew up reading comic books, or people who grew up watching animated TV kids shows on television. Ninja Turtles being another example. And this film very much is a product of that. Yet it is very sort of refreshing, I suppose, in sort of how it deals with a lot of those ideas, rather than just going through the motions of another Batman movie. It's very fresh and unique.
Definitely.
Just in this overview, what on the whole did you think of the characters of this film? There's a number of key players. You've got Batman, you've got the Joker, you've got Alfred, you've got Robin, you've got Barbara Gordon.
Yep.
And those are the key ones. There's a few minor characters, but for the most part it centres around them.
I thought it developed them interestingly. I was slightly confused with Barbara Gordon because I felt like her character backtracked at the end of the film and became a vigilante just like Batman, without revealing everything.
No, but
it just felt like it was quite what would you call it? Convenient for her to become like that. Yeah. And I guess that's because it is, at the end of the day, a kid's film, and they're not thinking about the morality and the ethics behind what she does and everything. So
Yeah, and I suppose, again, be careful not to give too much away. It sort of fits her character, as in she's at least initially very sort of opposed to Batman, but she's actually quite sort of welcoming of Batman. She actually quite likes him as an idea. He's been around for, well, I think he says, for 70 years, and that's been sort of an inspiration to her character in some ways. That's why, obviously, her father as well, Commissioner Gordon, but sort of this idea of tackling crime.
I thought their take on Commissioner Gordon was quite hilarious.
Yeah. Press a button.
Yeah.
Summon Batman.
Again, teasing the original stories in a sense.
Yeah.
And I also like the little kind of sub battle between Batman and Superman that kind of teases Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
in a really goofy way.
They consistently refer to sort of to that, which is sort of rather fun, especially as that film only came out a year ago, and they're already willing to sort of mock it a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they consistently mock poor old Christian Bale throughout this film as well, with one particular scene. Well, more than one, I suppose, but that one particular scene with.
I have to admit, I stupidly didn't notice that was Christian Bale.
No.
And thought it was Tom Cruise, and so that left me quite confused until you explained to me that it was Christian Bale. And I do know who Christian Bale is, just somehow didn't recognise him.
Yeah, it took me a few seconds to realise it was him because I haven't seen whatever film that was. Josh didn't notice who's my brother when we went to see it, so he would look remarkably sort of young in it. So
yeah,
he was.
But yeah, it was good use of it.
On a whole, what did you think of sort of the action in this film? For an animated film, it's got some pretty impressive set pieces.
Stunning. The opening was incredible.
Yeah.
I loved that. And that was just one of the things that you can do with cartoon, well, not cartoon, but animation, as opposed to live action. Mm-hmm. And they made good use of that.
Yeah, and it's just that I suppose it also helps with the Lego aspect of just the building and the intertwining.
Yeah.
How you can break this up and turn it into this, and you can create a Batmobile out of any building you're passing by.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it was interesting the way they brought in the whole master builder thing into it. Because obviously that was a concept established
in the
Lego movie. And I kind of wondered if they'd bring it through to this, and they did it in a fairly good way. The only thing I was slightly confused about is the ease it took Robin to do this whole master building thing.
Yes.
When I'm kind of like, in the Lego movie it was meant to be this really complex, difficult thing.
Yeah.
And in the Batman movie it's just like Robin immediately can be a master builder.
Yeah, this film doesn't quite set up how this universe works in relation to the Lego one.
Definitely not.
Is this a kid playing in the cellar still? Is this Batman's fan fiction from the Lego movie, or what exactly is this film? I mean, I suppose they don't really expect you to ask that question, but at the same time, they're not entirely just basing this in the Batman universe. I mean, we'll say more about that in spoilers, but other characters show up who you wouldn't expect to be in the Batman film.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's in that way, it's definitely similar to the Lego movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be that connected to the other realms, though, that were presented in the Lego movie. But it'll be interesting to see if they're actually going to bring that in future.
Yeah, and well, obviously the next film they're doing is the Lego Ninjago film, which we had a trailer of it before our viewing.
Yeah, me too.
That's again is going to be something different, but I'm quite happy to see them try their own property rather than always just doing sort of Lego Batman, and next will be Lego Avengers, and there'll be Lego Lord of the Rings, and there'll be Lego Star Trek. I was pleased
with Lego Batman that they did go quite far away from the original Batman in a sense, so they managed to make it something new, even though it was something old. But yeah, it's good to see them doing something of their own.
Yeah, to do their own property. I mean, obviously the Lego movie sort of was their own property, but that was also sort of very much sort of, we've got Batman in this as well, we've got lots of different sort of characters. It's not their own theme, they created it for it. But Ninjago's been our own theme, which they've got around, and now they're bringing into.
Yeah, it's quite clever marketing, actually.
Yeah.
To get all your kids addicted to TV thing and then launch it in cinemas, because the kids are going to definitely want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
And obviously, they can advertise it as the makers of a Lego Batman movie, and the makers of a Lego movie, and everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, Lego are doing pretty well so far. They've had 2 pretty good films. Let's go and see that. Do you have any negative thoughts about this film without going into spoilers? Anything you felt sort of could have done that better? Misuse of...
Not personally.
No.
I think you do, don't you?
I've got something which I'm going to come back to in spoilers a bit. So, do you want to give anything else to say non-spoilers, or should we go to a rating?
Oh, I thought something was interesting that Catwoman in this, unlike in the most recent Batman films, Catwoman doesn't seem to like Batman at all in this particular one.
I suppose that... I mean, Catwoman isn't ever sort of... Catwoman is very sort of, is she good, is she bad? It depends on what era of comic books you're in. Starts off as a villain. She's a villain in the second Batman film from the early 90s. But again, in this... But then again, in sort of... what's his name's version? Christopher Nolan's, she's more of a good character. She's still got some greyness to her, but... Yeah, they just put her as straight as a villain in this. Yeah,
definitely.
Do you like the whole host of Batman villains that appear in this film? The Calendar Man,
I thought it was interesting. Perhaps slightly too many, but at the same time, I think it had its own kind of charm to it.
Yeah, and it helped set up that first sequence
definitely.
Of the film. Just to rather have lots of ambiguous henchmen, to have sort of, these are actual characters, and okay, we're not going to do much of them in this film. But here they all are anyway. Yeah.
I have to say, right at the beginning of the film, I was worried he was going to keep his mask on the whole way through. And I thought that would have been annoying. But he didn't, so it was good. And did you notice the very obvious Apple product placement in the film?
Oh, he's got an
iPhone.
He's got an iPhone, yeah.
And it's very definite iPhone, written very large, and also the Apple logo features heavily. And he talks to Siri.
Yeah. That's like the computer is Siri.
Yeah. That's quite hilarious.
Did you think this film could have benefited from a song equivalent to Everything Is Awesome that Lego Movie had? Because this film, it had songs in it, but none of them sort of...
I quite liked just the use of songs it had, like, for example, the ones that Batman supposedly makes up.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Yeah, that first song in that first action sequence is pretty good, but it's not like Everything Is Awesome. You're not going to have kids going around singing it in the streets irritatingly, or...
No, which is a good thing.
Academy Awards.
But yeah, I quite liked what they did choose. I liked their use of kind of pop songs too.
And I think that first song he says it's called Let's Get Nuts, which is, again, a reference to Batman 89, and perhaps the oddest scene in any Batman film. Have you watched Batman 89?
No.
Okay, but just to give it away, it's not even really spoiled for the film, but Bruce Wayne's being confronted by the Joker, and he's in his house, and Bruce Wayne's just talking to him like a normal guy. He's telling the Joker this story. Presumably you think, he's trying to distract the Joker, and he goes over to the fireplace, and he's just telling a story in a soothing, sort of normal, sort of Bruce Wayne voice, and he suddenly grabs the poking stick from the fireplace, smashes a vase, and shouts, "Let's get nuts!" And it's just completely weird.
Oh, yeah, that's quite strange.
And it doesn't really fit Batman, but it's just one of those weird scenes in the films, which is sort of obviously what they're referring to in this film.
I didn't know that reference.
Yeah, I'll show you a clip afterwards, maybe. Okay, shall we do our rating and then we'll move on to spoilers?
Sounds good.
So, do you want to go first, or shall I?
You can go first.
Great, now I've got a finger sync. Now I'm going to compare this to a drink of Ribena. Again, I tend to compare properties going to slightly more kids to sing with high sugar, because that's what it is. It's very excitable. It's got a nice sort of taste. It's relatively refreshing, but it's not sort of the greatest drink in the world, nor worst drink in the world. It's a pretty fine, pretty good kids movie with lots of sort of stuff there, lots of references, lots of in jokes, lots of things targeted at geeks like myself. There are lots of references, and if you do an Easter egg video, then it would probably take 20 minutes just to cover the first action scene. But it's really fun. It's got its issues. I think some of the themes in this are a bit poor. Perhaps some of the story message is slightly sort of confusing, and sort of I'm not quite sure where they're going with it. But overall, it's pretty good.
Okay. I've never read that much into Ribena.
No,
yeah.
I've never read that much into Ribena. I'm not sure whether Ribena was the best thing, but it's sort of... Yeah, that's what I ended up going with, so... I'm sure people realise at some point that our rating system isn't sort of concrete in stone and meant to symbolise everything that we think about the film. It's just sort of a... Here's something with a particular sort of taste. Let's compare it. And
so I'm
the sugary sort of fruity taste.
Exactly. Going from that, I'm gonna choose a really fruity, sugary cocktail for this one. So it's got kick from the strong drink, whatever it is that's in it. It's
a drink often given to kids.
Yeah, perhaps not. It's really fruity, so it's fun and everything. Sugary, it's sweet, it's enjoyable to watch. But it's like you can't do it too many times, because you can't drink too many of them. But it's really fresh and interesting. Is what I'll do for it.
Jolly good. So from now on, spoiler-heavy review for Lego Batman. If you haven't seen this film and you want to see this film, you probably should stop listening here or skip ahead to if we have a new segment later on. Depends how we're doing for time. Okay, so this film is sort of a family film, and one of the key messages in it is Batman lets down his family and has to say sorry, and then everything is fine again.
Pretty much.
The problem sort of I had with the execution of this is that him leaving his family behind to go into battle against the Joker and his army isn't necessarily a bad thing. Soldiers don't normally take their families to war.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too.
His mistake is he's leaving behind trained fighters.
Yeah.
He's leaving behind Batgirl, he's leaving behind Alfred, who in this seems to basically be an older version of Batman, because he goes around in the Adam West costume, and Robin, who is a master builder, as you said earlier. That sort of jumbling of those up, it sort of didn't particularly work for me, because it sort of feels like Batman was wrong for sending them away because they're his family, and that's why everyone's upset with him. He's wrong to send them away because they're expert fighters. He's not wrong to send them away because of his family. You don't take your family to war. I like The Incredibles, because I think The Incredibles did this slightly better, where you have that final action sequence of Incredibles, and you've all seen Incredibles, I don't need to give a spoiler warning for that. But Mr. Incredible is about to go in to fight Syndrome's big monster, and he turns to Mrs. Incredible, and he says to Mr. Incredible, "Look, stay here with the kids and keep out of the way." Mr. Incredible goes, "Why? What was this? Some sort of challenge for you?" And he goes, "Look, I can't let you come with me because I'm not strong enough to lose you again." And she basically says, "Look, we're supers. We're actually sort of meant to be doing this sort of thing. If this was a case where Mrs. Incredible isn't super and the kids aren't super and Mr. Incredible is, he's fine to leave them behind because they can't go and take down the big monster. But because they're superheroes, they can."
Yeah.
And that sort of that's made clearer, I think, in Incredibles than it is in this movie. That sort of Incredible says, look, it's not just the sense of sort of wanting to protect your family, saying, "Oh, that's a mistake." It's a fact that you're actually you're being hypersensitive when actually the family can cope with this situation because they're trained. Does that sort of maybe you might say, well, aren't you reading too much into a family film? But I like to
well, the rest of it seemed to be quite well thought out, so it just it is, in a sense, if they're going to do a film that's that high level, you want to get it all that high level. So yeah, in a sense, I guess maybe they didn't know what they could do. I think perhaps it was more because, it was the fact that he let them in and trusted them, and they were trying to gain his trust. So that, and they clearly showed themselves to be competent. So that's part of it. It's just him opening up and understanding that he can't control everything. I think is the kind of message that they wanted to show, and that's the reason why they were angry.
Yeah, I can understand that. But that being said, why he doesn't call the Justice League to come and help him beat the Joker and all the villains that the Justice League put in the Phantom Zone is a little questioning, because at the start of the film you see Zod being put into Phantom Zone by Superman. So when Zod and everyone else breaks out, you might think, well, why didn't you say, hey Superman, everyone's broken out of the Phantom Zone, could you get the entire Justice League here and we'll do this in 5
Or maybe
minutes?
it's because he can't trust Superman still, or he doesn't like Superman. Maybe no telephones were working. Maybe the film wouldn't have worked well if that happened.
What would Justice League do? Oh, just still partying over it.
Apparently that's what they do, party.
Yeah. I didn't like the Justice League scene, just because it's nice to see all the different characters.
Yeah.
Did you find it odd that Voldemort is in this film, and Ralph Fiennes is in this film voicing Alfred, but Ralph Fiennes didn't voice Voldemort, despite the fact that he is Voldemort in the Harry Potter films?
To be honest, I didn't know that. I never really look up that much, but that's funny. That's kind of strange. Must have been weird for him.
We've got Ralph Fiennes.
I guess maybe he wanted a bigger role, and they offered him Alfred, so he was like, go for it.
Well, maybe they didn't want to pay him for 2 roles, they only wanted to pay him for 1, because otherwise it would be too expensive.
I don't think they'd get him for 2, though, because that's just the same character.
Yeah.
In a sense, or same person voicing 2.
Yeah, but, voice work, you tend to have multiple people playing multiple cast members. It's
maybe,
actually quite common in, well, at least in animated TV shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just...
That's
interesting. Why not give him the role which...
maybe money, like you say. Yeah. Or maybe it was a licensing issue with the character. Just don't know.
How do you think the final battle fight sequence compares to earlier sequences in the film?
I think the earliest sequences were probably better.
Yeah.
Like the opening sequence is incredible.
So you're saying that Batman's better off alone, is that you're saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I think partly it was because we got to see more style and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was also just the setup of the Joker and everything in the first one, I think, was better.
Yeah.
Like the plane flying through the air was incredible.
Yeah.
And just the kind of style, the gritty kind of crime drama type thing.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
I love how the pilot in that sequence goes, where Drake says, "This is my greatest plan ever." And he goes, "What, like one with the 2 boats?" Which is obviously The Dark Knight. In The Dark Knight we got the 2 boats.
Yes, yeah, I did like that as well.
I think it was pretty good. Then goes, awful time we walked into that art gallery playing Prince, which is Batman 89 again. they like good fun references.
Yeah, I like those references.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good fun to it.
So, what else can we say in the spoilers? Did you like the fact they went for the use of alternative villains, so sticking in Sauron and Voldemort? Obviously, the way they introduce those characters, they don't particularly fit into their own storylines. Sauron, as far as I know, doesn't ever shoot lava out of his eye.
No.
Or Voldemort's killing spell doesn't seem to kill many people in this. But then again, it's a Lego version of it, so they're there.
I think they're there partly just to Sauron is probably there for the adults because it's something they can know and recognise, and Voldemort is just, I think he's fun, and they know that teenagers will be like, "Oh, there's Voldemort," kind of thing. So
with the Daleks, he went, they're British robots. Their friends to explain. Can I say they're not robots? They're cyborgs. Inside each of those is a living creature. They're not robots.
They look like robots.
They're tanks. They're tanks with people inside. Tanks aren't robots. Therefore, Daleks aren't robots. But anyway,
you still need a nerd to explain.
Yes.
See, they managed to get you to get all bothered about it and to explain it to me. So they were right.
Yes, they are. I was aware of it. It was sort of working like that.
You just gave in to them.
I just gave in to them. They had lots of gremlins as well, didn't they?
Yeah, those were a bit odd.
Yeah.
Taking apart the plane.
Yeah, that's like the penguins did at the start of the film.
Yeah. Part of you have to just kind of accept that there's a lot of slight things, like at the beginning. What was I going to say? Like there's the orphan who mysteriously can fight really well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite hilarious though, with the orphan.
Oh, well, where he's adopted?
Yeah, adopted and everything. And
I love Batman's merchandise gun, where he goes to the orphanage and he shoots
yeah.
at them.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty hilarious. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
Just kind of shows his inflated ego a bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time shows that he is kind of good, because he actually takes the time to go there.
Yeah. And, yeah. Well, that's sort of the thing. He's presented as arrogant and brash and all those sort of things, but at the same time he's consistently shown to be more than that. It's just sometimes he doesn't come out with it. He's not often very willing to admit it. So we obviously got seen with his parents' picture at the start, and the fact he's not facing up that sort of his greatest fear is losing people, which is why he pushes people away.
Yeah, yeah.
And he consistently refuses to admit it throughout the film. It's snake, clowns, whatever his worst fear is.
Yeah.
But Alfred's sort of perceptive enough to say that you know what's going on, because we've seen it in every other Batman film. At time in like 2016, 2012, and 2008, and 2005, and gives a list of all the Batman films. Anything else you want to talk about? Design? Should we talk about designs at all? Sort of for world, sort of the Batcave, the Bat.
I just loved the way they used the lighting and everything.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, they've really sort of been in a position now where they can do. It does look really cinematic. And it's really, and I suppose that's a giveaway to show that it isn't sort of stop motion, because it's very hard to do that sort of thing in stop motion. But when you've got sort of the big sequences, they can sort of where they animate the lights and everything, it just gives a very sort of large scale to it, which is and just very sort of nicely done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else, or shall we move on to a quick news segment?
New segment, I think.
New segment. Matthew Vaughn and Matt Reeves are going to save Superman and Batman. Have you heard of the news that Matthew Vaughn's in talks to save the next Superman film, and Matt Reeves is directing the next Batman film?
Didn't know that.
Matt Reeves obviously being Planet of the Apes guy, and Matthew Vaughn being Kingsman and X-Men First Class.
Yeah. Interesting. That might be good, because the Superman ones need a bit of X-manning up.
Yeah. And what was very impressive about Matthew Vaughn and X-Men First Class is that he's not shy to go back to try something else with the X-Men. The X-Men at that point were going through a bit of a down patch. They just had X-Men Origins Wolverine, which people didn't really like, and he just brought sort of the X-Men back, and he actually gave them their yellow costumes. He sort of told a very sort of fresh sort of story. He wasn't shy to not use Wolverine, despite the fact that Wolverine was their main character. I think that could be very good for Superman, where you can just approach it differently to how other people have been looking at it recently.
Yeah. I think that's true. It needs a slightly different approach. It's been too long and drawn out recently.
And a bit dour and a bit sad and a bit...
Yeah.
He's been a bit sad and moody.
Yeah. Yeah, any other news?
Well, since we last recorded, the Oscars happened and there was a huge surprise. Suicide Squad won Best Hair and Makeup. So that means DC have got one Academy Award and Marvel have got none.
I wonder if Spider-Man will get any.
Well, I can't imagine...
Yeah, I can't imagine it get any.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't imagine any of them particularly getting, because they're not really their sort of awards. Suicide Squad was because it was all sort of weird and surreal. Yeah. It was up for sort of the Hair and Makeup Award. But with visual effects, it normally, as I said, it go into Jungle Book, which is
Yeah.
what I predicted because it's the animal effects.
Yeah,
And
it's creating
Marvel
a world that looks real as opposed to an explicitly not real world.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange had wonderful visuals, but they weren't going to give it that. It's Doctor Strange had a Jungle Book.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange, in a sense, because it wasn't meant to look real, it was convincing, but it was never meant to be this reality.
No, so
whereas Jungle Book did something entirely new.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Yeah, and just it was just on different level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't see Marvel winning one anytime soon.
No, I don't know if they're that interested.
Unless Logan, which isn't MCU, but it's Marvel, that could get something. That could.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so.
No, neither have I. But from all the talk, it might be able to sort of go up for
potentially
a best supporting actor for Patrick Stewart or something. Are you a big fan of the Matrix films?
I did enjoy the Matrix films. Yeah.
Well, there's a reboot coming.
Oh.
Because if it ain't broke, don't. Well,
yeah.
They just like people making films.
Yeah, try and make some money.
Yeah. So now we're into the late 90s nostalgia, so that is time for another Matrix film. I haven't seen Matrix film. I probably should see it at some point. They say the second and third one aren't particularly very good.
I think the first was definitely the best, as usual.
As usual. With a few sections like Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, I'd rather they just did something different with it because...
I don't know quite how they continue it, or can continue it in the same strand.
Unless they've got some new visual idea, there's not really anything you can do because everyone else has been doing The Matrix ever since then, all the bullet time, all the
It's more the
action.
story that I'm concerned about. I don't quite get what continuation they can really give to it.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And sort of the idea of sort of computers and being inside computers and stuff, which again has been done. And something like Inception has sort of pushed that ground, in a completely different way, but in a much sort of different visuals and being inside dreams and all that sort of lack of physicality sort of idea. So I don't really know what it's going for.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll be able to do something. Maybe. Did you see the Thor Ragnarok pictures?
I think I saw a couple.
So Thor's new design. I got them here if you want. So.
Oh, I saw that one.
And there's one with Loki.
Oh yeah.
One with Hulk and it's not Hulk, it's Bruce Banner and Thor. And then Thor and Tessa Thompson's character. And there's the director.
Yeah, all looks good. Oh, in a suit.
Well, it's a nice director. I think we missed Jeff Goldblum, did we? Oh yes, Jeff Goldblum. Now 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case that they've gone to the planet 1980s.
It does appear to be.
Because they've gone very bright colour. And there's Kate Blanchett's villain. What's her name? Hela. So it's gone very bright colours. It's gone very sort of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's sort of what they... I suppose they want to just try something different. They did the two sort of traditional stories with the Earth.
Yeah.
Asgard sort of almost sort of Norse mythology sort of style. Now they're just going for let's have Thor doing something, going fighting and losing his hammer and shaving his hair and having a big shield and wearing bright colours. So
yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to this film. I think it's going to be quite good.
Yeah, the Thor films have always been fun.
Yeah.
Different but fun.
Did you watch the Wonder Woman trailer?
Not the most recent one.
No, neither did I. So, well, we won't talk about that then. At this point, I don't think the trailers are going to pitch me anything new or pitch a different tone of.
Yeah, probably not.
So it's a case of.
It's just building more excitement.
Yeah, it's just a case of. Yeah, if you're going to see it, then you're probably going to see it anyway. And if you're not going to see it, then you're probably not going to see it anyway now. But I don't think they're going. At this late stage, it's hard to change someone's mind. I probably won't see it in cinema. I'll probably wait till later, unless it gets really good reviews. But that's really everything I've got listed here. Have you come across anything?
No, that sounds good to me.
We could talk about the Oscars, but we didn't really. But
yeah.
Let's wrap it up there. Just remember where we are. We're on YouTube, we're on Soundcloud, we're on iTunes. You can subscribe to those, like us, tell a friend. That's always a good idea. And thanks for listening. Bye from me.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good day.